Namaste students. Final Punch KCET 2020. Today's topic is chemistry in everyday life. First we'll see the synopsis part, then we'll move to the previous year questions. And very simple chapter, and it needs your memory power once again. But don't waste more time on this because that is not that much usable, because this is the chapter from which one or two questions they will ask. In some years they have not asked a single question also. Hence we cannot waste our much of time in this particular chapter. So whatever the synopsis I will tell you, perfect with this, then you can solve any type of question of CET from this. Yes. Now you can see therapeutic action of the different classes of drugs. For all these drugs, remember the examples. So these examples you have to shout these examples which should hear by yourself. So it should goes into your ears, remember, so that you can easily remember these things. Fine. First one, therapeutic action of the different classes of drugs. Antacid, remember, antacids are the drugs used for treatment of the hyperacidity. We know that hyperacidity in the stomach. Very famous, ranitidine, cimetidine, tegament also we can call it as, or Zentac also we can call it as. So in theory exams already you have read so many drugs, the same important classification. If you remember, that is enough. Antihistamine. What are antihistamine? Which will reduce allergic effect in the body. So very simple example, brompheniramine, terfenamide. So Seldane, Demeter. This was asked last year, 2019 CET, remember, very important. Then neurologically active drugs. Neurologically active drugs is of two types. Remember, tranquilizers and analgesics. Tranquilizers are those drugs used to treatment of the stress and mental disease. Very simple. Stress and mental diseases. And remember these examples, Equanil, Valium, serotonin, etc. Very, very important examples. Remember this. That is tranquilizers, you can see. So now we will see in this particular case, neurotransmitter. So in this case, remember, so as we have discussed, tranquilizers and analgesics, two types of drugs in neurological active drugs. So in tranquilizers, remember, neurotransmitters and antidepressant drugs are there. Neurotransmitter are the drugs which plays role in mood change, remember. So noradrenaline is the important neurotransmitter drugs. Fine. Second one, antidepressant drugs. As the name indicates, so degradation of the neurotransmitter. So which the enzyme which is needed for the depression, that is inhibited by this. So iproniazid and phenelzine is example. Iproniazid and phenelzine is an example for this. Remember that. Then analgesics. Analgesics are the drugs which are used to reduce or relieve the pain are called analgesics. Very important. Remember, there are two types of analgesics. One is non-narcotic, non-addictive. Another one is narcotic, which will form habit-forming drugs. Remember, so non-narcotic or non-addictive analgesics, example aspirin and paracetamol. So remember, aspirin or paracetamol. In that case, antipyretic drugs is there, that is which reduces the fever, remember, which reduces the fever is also called as antipyretic drugs. And remember, these two act as antipyretic also and non-narcotic analgesic also. The narcotic analgesic, remember, morphine, heroin, codeine, all these are narcotic analgesics. Then if the question is asked like this, important, mention the drug that can act as both analgesic as well as antipyretic. If they give the option, but here I have written the answer directly. Aspirin and paracetamol is the answer. Remember, name the drug which effectively relieving skeletal pain such as that due to the arthritis and preventing platelet coagulation. So platelet blood coagulation, that is a drug which is aspirin. Very important point. So remember that. So then, the aspirin finds prevention of heart attacks give reason. If they give for statement by giving this, aspirin finds use in prevention of heart attack, which is the correct statement like that. So if that was the case, remember it is because of its anti-blood clotting action, aspirin finds use in prevention of heart attack. Remember, because of its anti-blood clotting action. When does depression occurs if they ask? Remember, when the level of neurotransmitter is less, which means the signal sending activity becomes low, then depression occurs. Give an example for mild tranquilizers if they ask. Remember, mild tranquilizers, chlorodiazepoxide and meprobamide. So these two are the mild tranquilizer. It's very difficult to remember the names. I know that, because it is for me also, it is very difficult to remember. But at least if you read once or twice with your concentration, at least if you feel that we have seen somewhere this drug under this classification, that is enough. Remember that. Name the drug used in controlling depression and hypertension. Equanil. That is tranquilizer, Equanil. Remember that. Then antimicrobials. These are the drugs which inhibit the pathogenic action of microbes such as virus, bacteria, fungi. Remember, antimicrobials are of the first type, antibiotic. Antibiotic, these are the drugs which derived from microorganisms and further used to control toxic effect produced by harmful microorganisms. Antibiotics are the compounds or the drugs which is derived from microorganisms itself and further used to control the toxic effect produced by harmful microorganisms. Example, all these examples you can remember. Very famous examples, all these are penicillin, erythromycin, ofloxacin, so tetracycline, all these things. In antibiotics, remember, there are two types. One is bactericidal antibiotic and bacteriostatic antibiotic. So what is bactericidal? Bactericidal means which kills the bacteria. Bacteriostatic means which inhibit the growth of bacteria. That is the difference. Bactericidal means which directly kills the bacteria. Penicillin, afloxacin, aminoglycosides are the examples. Bacteriostatic means antibiotic which inhibit the growth of bacteria. Remember these two differences. Erythromycin, famous drug, tetracycline, chloramphenicol, all these are for bacteriostatic antibiotics. Then one point you have to remember, Prontosil we call it as Prontosil. So is the antibacterial drug which is in the body is converted into sulfanilamide. So this was asked once in CET, remember. So Prontosil is the drug which is in the body, it is converted into sulfanilamide, which is the real active compound, remember, which is helpful in antibacterial action. That is the first one, antibiotics. Second one, the antibiotic further classification into broad spectrum, narrow spectrum, limited spectrum. Remember at least one example for each. Broad spectrum antibiotic means which will kill or inhibit the wide range of gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. If you are a biology student, you will be more familiar with these words. Remember, which will kill or inhibit the wide range of gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. Then ampicillin, amoxicillin, chloramphenicol, vancomycin, ofloxacin, these are the example for that. Narrow spectrum antibiotic, only one example you remember, penicillin G, which are effective mainly against gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. It's wide range of gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria is effective mainly against gram-positive or gram-negative bacteria. Then limited spectrum antibiotics are the effective against single organism or disease. Remember, it is limited. So as the name indicates, single organism or disease, it can be used. This is about types of antibiotics. Then antiseptics and disinfectants. See, antiseptics are nothing but these are the chemicals. Antiseptics are nothing but these are the chemicals which are applied on the wounds or cuts, either to kill or to prevent the growth of microorganisms. Either to kill or prevent the growth. So Dettol, chloroxylenol plus terpineol. This combination you have to remember for Dettol. Second one, 0.2% phenol. See, 1% phenol act as disinfectant. The drug which will control the growth of microorganisms applied non-living tissues. It is living tissues. So living tissues, 0.2% phenol, 1% phenol, non-living tissues, remember that. Then 0.2% phenol, tincture of iodine, remember this combination, 2 to 3% solution of iodine, alcohol plus water mixture. So very important, iodoform, furacin, saffromycin, bithinol, all these are the example for antiseptics. Then disinfectants, one example you remember, 1% phenol. Then anti-fertility drugs. These are the drugs used to prevent pregnancy. So norethindrone, novestrol or ethinyl estradiol. So these are the example for anti-fertility drugs. Remember that. Then finally chemicals in food. So artificial sweetening agent, first one, then antioxidants. So artificial sweetening agents are nothing but the chemical substance which provides sweetness to the food without increasing calorie of the body. Remember, which will provide sweetness but without increasing the calories to the body. Example, saccharin, aspartame, sucralose, allitame, etc. Some important points about these different artificial sweetening agent that we will see. First one, remember saccharin. These points you have to remember for some very important points in this case. So saccharin, orthosulfobenzamide we'll call it as. It is the most popular artificial sweetening agent. Remember, it is 550 times as sweet as cane sugar. So not necessary to remember, but if they ask sometime, we have to be ready for that. We cannot take the risk. So 550 times as sweet as cane sugar. Aspartame, remember, aspartame 100 times as sweet as cane sugar. But very important point is that, remember, it is the methyl ester of dipeptide having 2 amino acid. Remember this point. So which amino acid is present, they can ask. So aspartic acid and phenylalanine is amino acid present in aspartame. Very important. Another important point about this is unstable at cooking temperature, hence it is limited to cold foods or cold drinks. Remember, unstable at cooking temperature. There is another point you have to remember. Allitame, it is 2000 times as sweet as cane sugar. Although it is more stable, controlling the sweetness is very difficult. Hence, generally we will go for saccharin in the food industries. Because allitame is more sweeter, but because of that reason it is difficult to control. Then sucralose. Sucralose is nothing but 600 times as sweet as cane sugar. It is trichloro derivative of sucrose. Remember that point. So trichloro derivative of sucrose, importance and taste are like sugar only. And it is stable at cooking temperature. They can ask which is unstable at cooking temperature. Out of the following, which is stable at cooking temperature? Very simple, sucralose. It does not provide calories. These are the important points. Then food preservatives. Food preservatives, this will prevent the spoilage of food due to the microbial growth. Very simple. So table salt, sugar, vegetable oil, sodium benzoate, salts of sorbic acid, propanoic acid. It's a very wide range. All these are food preservatives. Important antioxidants. It was also asked once in the 2014 CET, as I remember. There are food additives help in the food preservation by retarding the action of oxygen on the food. It will prevent the oxidation, so hence it is antioxidants. 2 examples you remember, shortcut at least, BHT, BHA, butylated hydroxyl toluene, butylated hydroxyl anisole, remember. BHT, BHA are the example for this particular, the food preservatives, remember that. So this is about antioxidants. Yes. Now, cleansing agent you will see at the end. So cleansing agents. So in this particular case, so cleansing agent, remember, so here, soaps are the sodium. First we will discuss about the soap. Soaps are the sodium and potassium salts of long chain fatty acids, remember. Generally sodium salts are used in washing soaps. These that may be utensils or the cloths. But potassium salt is used in the bath soaps. What is saponification? So when triglyceride is heated with aqueous NaOH, sodium salt of fatty acid is formed. It is called as saponification. So this is nothing but triglyceride which will react with this sodium hydroxide forming sodium stearate. So this is the main component of the soap, remember that. Then if they ask, why do soaps don't work in hard water? So remember, generally these soaps do not work in hard water very easily. The reason for that is it will form as insoluble calcium stearate. So remember, hard water means calcium salts, magnesium salts will be present. That will react with this, give rise to, so calcium stearate is going to get insoluble calcium stearate. So scum we will call it as, which means it is present as a hard substance which is deposited at the bottom of the bucket. So hence soaps do not work in hard water. So for that hard water, what we will do now? So for hard water, remember, we are going to go for detergents. We are going to go for synthetic detergents, remember. So synthetic detergents means what? See, synthetic detergents are nothing but these are used in both in soft water as well as hard water. They will give foam in hard water, even in ice cold water. Very important. Even in ice cold water, you will get the foam. Then 3 types, very important. Anionic detergent. Remember 2 examples. Sodium lauryl sulfate, sodium dodecylbenzene sulfonate. Very simple. Sodium lauryl sulfate, sodium dodecylbenzene sulfonate. And for theory exam also definitely you will read this. You have read this already. Anionic detergent means these are the sodium salts of sulfonated long chain alcohols or hydrocarbons. Anionic part of the molecule is involved in the cleansing action. Hence it is called as anionic detergent. Remember the use, it is used in toothpaste. Cationic detergent, quaternary ammonium salts of amines with acetates, chlorides, bromides as anions, we call it as cationic detergents. And here cationic is the main important part which is involved in the cleansing action. Example, cetyl trimethyl ammonium bromide used in hair conditioners and germicides. Very important. Right? So cetyl trimethyl ammonium bromide is example for cation, and sodium lauryl sulfate and sodium dodecylbenzene sulfonate is example for anion. Remember that. Non-ionic detergent. These are not having any ions in their constitution. Very important. One example you remember, which is formed by stearic acid and polyethylene glycol. Once it was asked by giving adipic acid. So remember, only stearic acid plus polyethylene glycol can form anionic, non-ionic detergent used in liquid hand washes. Non-ionic detergent used in liquid hand washes. Final point in the synopsis is that unbranched detergents are biodegradable. So unbranched detergents are biodegradable. Remember that. So these are the important points about synopsis of chemistry in everyday life. And the job is yours. Remember, you have to read this, and you have to remember these things. But you cannot give more time on the chemistry in everyday life, because some more important chapters are there. Those chapters you can prepare instead of giving more time to this particular chapter. Yes. Now, quickly, we will finish it off. So, final punch KCET to 2020, chemistry in everyday life, 2014 to 2019 papers solved. Right? So, 2014-2019 papers. Yes. So, this job is very easy if you remember those points which we have discussed till now. Fine. Antihistamine among the following is very good. Very easily you have to tell. Which one is the answer? Yes, tell me. Antihistamine among the following is. Remember? A already we have discussed in this particular case. Correct? So A is the answer. A. So then what is morphine? Morphine is nothing but narcotic analgesic. Narcotic analgesic. So what is amoxicillin? Amoxicillin is antibiotic. We know that. Antibiotic. And chloroxylenol is antiseptic. Remember, antiseptic is antiseptic. Bromophenramine is an example. Fine. Second one, which cleansing agent gets precipitated in the hard water? See, these are all detergents, correct? So anionic, cationic, anionic, anionic, cationic, anionic, but this is a soap. So hence, this will get precipitated in the hard water. Very simple, isn't it? Yes. Next question, third one we will see. Third one. So, in this particular case, bactericidal antibiotic among the following is. Bactericidal antibiotic among the following is. And remember, you have to remember these things. There is no other way. So, third one, which is the answer? Yes. Ofloxacin is the answer for this. Remember, ofloxacin is the answer. Then fourth one. Pick the correct statement among the following. Fourth one. See. Now, sodium dodecylbenzene sulfonate used in toothpaste as a cationic detergent. Cationic, only one example you have to remember, which is that cetyl trimethyl ammonium bromide. Hence, it is not the answer. Sodium lauryl sulfate forms insoluble scum. No, this is detergent. Only sodium stearate can form. So, this is not the answer. So, cetyl trimethyl ammonium bromide is a popular cationic detergent used in hair conditioner. So, this is cationic detergent, correct? Hair conditioner is also correct. So, answer is C, remember. And non-ionic detergent, see, polyethylene glycol react with adipic acid is given. So, it is stearic acid, remember. So, it is stearic acid. It is not adipic acid. Hence, the answer for this question is C. So, this is the C. The fourth question. So, remember. Then, fifth one. In this particular case, which of the following is employed as a tranquilizer? Which is tranquilizer? Very famous one, tranquilizer, right? So, A is the answer. Tranquilizer, very simple, you can tell. So, this is anti-inflammatory reagent. Remember, anti-inflammating agent. Inflammatory properties there. We know that Dettol is what? Antiseptic. Correct? So, antiseptic, remember. Then, tetracycline is what? Tetracycline, that is antibiotic. Antibiotic. Correct? So, this is the answer. So, which of the following is not true? So, sixth one, which of the following is not true? See that ampicillin is not a natural antibiotic. Remember, this is true. Ampicillin is antibiotic which is not natural, prepared. Vancomycin is a broad spectrum antibiotic. This is also true. Erythromycin is bactericidal antibiotic. This is also true. Remember, the correct answer for this case is Prontocil is not converted to they have given, but it will converted into. Hence, remember, answer for this question is D. The last question in this case, remember, butylated hydroxytoluene used as a food additive is. Butylated hydroxytoluene used as a food additive is. Which one? Butylated hydroxytoluene means it is antioxidant. Remember, antioxidant. So very important, very simple. So this was asked in 2014. Actually, I have not written. This is asked in 2015 and this was asked in 2016. So remember. So like this, these are the questions in the Chemistry in Everyday Life chapter. So this is the last chapter in the second PUC part for our final punch of KCET 2020 series. So in the next video, I am going to start with the first PUC, the final punch KCET 2020. If you are not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to channel and share to your friends so that they will get the use for the KCET exam. Thank you. Have a nice day.